Hi April, it's Svetlana from Moonthral. Congratulations on winning May's tarot reading giveaway. Um, yeah, so we're gonna get started. I'm doing the reading right now. We're using the Golden Tarot by Cat Black. It's one of my. I don't use it a whole lot, but it is a gorgeous deck. It's very well made. And you mentioned a few things that we can look at in the reading. It looks like maybe a couple of them are coming up. One main issue more than others. So we're gonna take a look at that, and we're gonna be doing the birthday cake spread. So I'm just gonna move this down so you can see everything. My desk is full of cards, and I chose this deck because it it like all early decks, it has a very biblical connotation. These are all made from a collage of like Renaissance and earlier paintings, and again, there's nobility, there's everyday life, and there's also a lot of kind of biblical connotations. So it has a very timeless but also reassuring feel to it. So it is a deck I like to go to in times of being unsure, just needing some hope, needing a little some nuggets of wisdom. So I like using it for that, and we're going to be using that for you today. And so the way I do this layout is the top layer are 5 cards that are closer to you. They speak a little more of what you're going through personally, maybe your personal desires, your hopes, dreams, actions, maybe what will spur you to action, what will, if you hear any drilling or anything in the background, they're doing work next door, so I apologize. The bottom layer is kind of the base, the foundation, things going on outside of you. So not always things that are controllable on your part. That will be more up here, but this is going to be, other people around you, other events, your surroundings, other, situations coming into the mix. And then we have 3 cards up here talking about maybe outcomes or the issues that you mentioned. I think it's talking about 2 of them. I wanted to do one for each, but it looks like it's talking about 2 of them more than the others. And I picked some others just to clarify, but so let's start. So we have the High Priestess coming up here, right in the corner. You have only 1 major arcana card coming up in your reading. This is showing that this is going to be this month in particular is going to be more about everyday goings on, even though one of them's kind of major that you mentioned. This is going to be more about everyday goings on and activities instead of big major like life shifts or changes within yourself or anything. So we have the High Priestess here, and you are on my newsletter list, so you should have an interest in tarot or getting readings or doing readings yourself. But we have the High Priestess here, and paired with the Page of Wands. I'm going to show this to you because they are beautiful cards and they should be shown off. So we have the High Priestess and the Page of Wands. We see you taking some sort of course or step in developing either your spirituality or your practice. The Priestess always holds a book, so this can be talking about an area of study. Now this may be a secretive or like very personal or spiritual study. It may also be talking about more of a public or maybe even like a group study of in this realm, like either divination, something with spirituality, but it's something you've been considering, and you should be taking steps to do that, because the Page of Wands, he's the page, he's starting out on his little trail there, but he's taking the first step. He's already well on his way. He's in the middle of the trail here. He's surrounded by rabbits, which show the speed, the speediness and fieriness of the Wands people. So this is something you've been considering, maybe more for yourself than anything else, because we do have, and then we have 3 coins ending this row for you. We have the 4, the 10, and the 7, and you do have 3 tens cards Three tens coming up, so a lot of culmination, a lot of maybe culmination, and then starting over from scratch, or turnovers, and I'll explain that more later. But we have the Four of Coins here, so we show a woman. We have a woman with a ledger in her lap, showing off all that she has built up, showing off her wealth. This is someone who is kind of putting away for a rainy day or planning for the future. So we have someone that's beginning an area of study, or who is working on their spiritual development. We have the coins here, which shows the need to probably be doing this for yourself. We also have the Ten of Coins here, which is the family card, but it's all about wealth building. So we have someone here with 4 coins. We follow it with 10 coins. And in the Ten of Coins, we have we have a whole family. So we have a beautiful courtyard scene with, different generations in there. We have a flowering tree, we have animals, we have everything that makes up a secure, prosperous home and family. I believe, though, family comes up again here, but it's followed by the Ten of Swords. So I believe, though, that this is going to be something more for yourself. Maybe building for your future. So it's going to be spiritually important as well as tangibly and financially important to you. And then we have the Seven of Swords, which the Seven of Coins, which shows, reaping the fruits of your labor. It shows you being rewarded. And this might not be this month. It may take a little longer, but you are on the right path. And it shows you the Four of Coins, again, being very, very level-headed, being prudent and practical. The Ten of Coins being a card of planning for the future. Building security, either a secure home or an amount of money maybe to, again, save for a rainy day or to pass on to others, if talking about family and different generations, and also to build for yourself. And we do see a happy outcome here of the Seven of Coins. Shows like a shepherd under a beautiful tree full of gold coins. And this is about just being able to kind of sit back and relax and enjoy what you've built. And for the bottom, this is kind of where we get into that flip-flopping. We start off with the 2 tens, the Ten of Cups, which 10 of Cups followed by the 10 of Swords. 10 of Cups was clarified by the Empress. So again, we have 2 women holding babies, so very nurturing cards here. Followed by the 10 of Swords, it seems that this is either talking about family or the people that are closest to you, and maybe who are supposed to provide nurturing and support, because the 10 is all about social and emotional fulfillment. It talks about love and friendships of all sorts. This many times shows a family, but again, it could be talking about, it's just the people who are around you, who you normally, trust, and there is mutual love and support going on. We see a rainbow of cups above their heads. But the 10 of Swords, though, the 10 of Swords is like a complete flip-flop, but it shows any issues around family or the people closest to you, the family you grew up with and the family you choose. It kind of includes all that, but it shows that you're kind of over this is we see as someone like laying face down with swords in their back, and you're just like over that. This can be the Martyr card, but it feels like no more, because it shows you are a very nurturing, like genuinely nurturing person. That's why the Empress is coming up here. So we don't see any bitterness on your part, or, any grudges or ill will. It shows that you're just doing your thing. The Empress is a wonderful card to have. It is someone who nurtures the people around them, is able to nurture themselves, but who also balances that with their other responsibilities and is able to make a secure and comfortable home. This can also talk about your work life. So someone who's able to balance all those things and make a wonderful space for themselves and those around them. Again, family, friends, you know, visitors, you know, coworkers, the people that you interact with, and on a regular basis. And we continue with the theme of work here but it's keeping yourself busy, and it's followed by the card of the Three of Cups, which is a card of celebration. So we have another coins card here. So coming down into this bottom row for you is the Eight of Coins. This is all about the work and labor card. We see it looks like a carpenter or a tinkerer, someone who has all his tools laid out in front of him, who's measuring something that he's working on. He has coins already made, and he's working on new ones. This is someone who is physically working on their craft. This can talk about your day job. This can also maybe hint at whatever you're starting here with the High Priestess that we saw in the top row. So this is all about work, keeping busy, honing your craft. We start off with you're like paying no mind to the issues brought up in the 10. You're a hard worker. You're really focusing on everything you can do to better your skills, and anything that comes into what you do for work and money. And we see it followed by the Three of Cups, which shows 3 women, and we have lute players in the background, and they're dancing around. They're having a grand old time. This can talk about a work celebration, or maybe a small gathering to celebrate anything you're doing to do for work or to use your skills. So you might be having a little party. It might be like a party for one. You might be celebrating a win in the work area, the work realm. This might be something you're doing while you're recovering, because we do have the Nine of Wands coming up on the bottom. This shows a soldier who's all bandaged up. He's kind of lopsided, he's leaning on his staff, but he's showing up for work, and he's there, and he's doing his thing. So can be talking about taking a little easy, maybe working from home if you can. But this just, spoke to me about recovery time and healing. So this is something you're going to be, I don't see you having any problem with it. Again, we have the Seven of Coins here for reward. We have the Three of Cups here for celebration. So just, rest and take it easy. We're going to go up here to the last 3 cards. The Page of Cups. I pulled this. Now this was supposed to have been pulled for the first issue you mentioned in your email. If you want me to remind you, you can just shoot me another email. But this shows it going okay. Again, this pairs with the rest and recuperation. Talking about, we can also pair it with the High Priestess as another page who is starting off on his path of emotional support, opening anything that's creative or emotional. So we have someone that we can see who is right above the High Priestess and the Page of Wands. So this shows. It shows, again, turning in on the self as well, someone who is interested in their own emotions and their own spirituality. So just another card we can pair with the High Priestess and all these cups coming up here. And then we have, and I believe these two talk about your living situation, which you mentioned. This card came up in that position. So we have the Eight of Cups. This is someone who is kind of ready to leave. This is someone who is on his way, he's got his bags packed. He is like leaving in the dead of night under the full moon, and he knows he wants something better. This is the only space where I see some discord. So if you have maybe a lease or an agreement, or the other people you live with, I see some discord coming up here. So we have the Five of Swords. This is like a kind of like a battle that no one wins at. So you may have a disagreement or arguments coming up around around actually leaving, because we have this card of the Eight of Cups, which shows someone leaving. Now, this, you may just be planning that, but I'm getting the feeling that if you do decide to leave, there might be some arguments, some tension, some discord around that, because we have one person, the victor, but doesn't look too happy, holding a sword. We have someone who is kind of shuffling away, looking dejected. So the obvious loser, but really in this, there's no clear winners here. So just make sure you have all your stuff. If you do decide to leave, make sure you have all your stuff together, and you can get it out easily. This isn't meaning to scare you or anything. I'm not seeing anything like that, but just be aware that, if this is the only situation, again, where I see discord, possible discord coming up. 2 cards I pulled. These were the bookend cards. So once I shuffle and split the deck, these were the 2 cards left over on either side. We have the Magician, another major, and the seven of Swords. Now, the 7 of Swords kind of mirrors the 8 of Cups. We see a person leaving on their own, packing as much as they can, making the decision to kind of go it alone. So we have the Magician here, which talks about having all the resources you need to do that. Also self-sufficiency. So the Magician in this card is Jesus, surrounded by the animals, so he's possibly naming all of them, but he is pictured as a magician. And here, since it's a tarot deck, we have one of each suit in front of him, so this is about getting your resources together. Again, Jesus he's a peaceful guy. He just wants peace and quiet, and he doesn't want anything crazy going. He doesn't want drama. So we see someone who's able to do that, who's able to pull the resources together and say, screw it, I'm out of here. The 7 is all about solitude, self-sufficiency. We see him gathering up his swords, possibly secrecy, and he's just heading out of camp, with only a backward glance behind him. So I believe this is also talking about your issue of wanting of your living situation. So possibly considering a move, if you were able to do that. Okay, April. So I'm hoping this all made sense. Yeah, I thank you again for entering the giveaway and for reading my newsletter. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so I'm going to upload this onto my YouTube channel, and yeah, just email me if you need a reminder on the areas we talked about, or if you have any questions about your reading. So thank you, April. All the best and much love.